and welcome to TraxArrow's Feature Friday series. My name is Nick, and I am a Customer Success Manager for our Dispatch Anywhere program. Today I wanted to talk about how to help automate invoicing and statements to go out to accounts, and how to configure that information in our settings page in order to help streamline your invoicing and your statements process within Dispatch Anywhere. First thing we want to do is we want to navigate to our settings page at settings.dispatchanywhere.net, log into this screen, and once we are logged in, we would be able to go to the section that is labeled Accounts. Once we've navigated to our account list, what we'll be able to do is we would be able to determine which accounts do I want to automate the sending of invoices, and when do I want that process to be triggered. So the first thing I would do is I would look up an account that I do want to turn that on for. We'll use Arizona Trucking Association as an example. We would want to first go to our billing section in the system to ensure that we do have a contact in the billing email. Anytime we automate that process, we want to make sure that's set up, because that is the email that the system would send the invoices or statements to. If an account does have multiple billing contacts, we can put an email address in here, put a comma, and then add a secondary email address in there, so that way it would be sent to both emails instead of just one particular email address. Once we have our email address added in the system, we'll navigate at the top here to the invoicing section. And this is where we would be able to determine what invoice style we're using for this account. And this is where we would go to enable the automatically send invoices or automatically send statements process. For this particular account, if I just want to enable invoices to go out, we would drop down the menu here that says disabled, and we can determine if we want to send the invoice when the job is marked finished in the system. So when that timestamp from the driver or from dispatch, when they timestamp it as finished, it would automatically send that invoice to the billing email on file. Or we can determine to send the invoice when the invoice has been created or posted through our accounting process in Dispatch Anywhere. I usually recommend doing this after an invoice has been created or posted, as it does give you the opportunity to manually review that invoice, ensure that there are no clerical errors on that particular ticket, and to make sure that the amount that you're sending the invoice out for is the proper amount to be billed. Once we select the option that we want to use for automatically sending the invoices, we will then be able to determine the invoice send method. In this case, because we have set up a billing email, I would select billing email as the option here. Statements work in a very similar fashion. We would be able to, under the statements section, we could pick a statement style or template that we'd be able to utilize. And once we do, we would drop this menu down to automatically send statements. We have a few different options here versus what we have for invoicing. We can send a statement to an account on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, or I could pick a custom day that I would like those statements to go out. So for example, for our Arizona Trucking Association, if I wanted to select custom and say I wanted to email those statements out on the 24th of every month, I could select the 24th here, and then we would also determine what the send method is going to be for this. So in this case, because I have a billing email set up for this account, I am going to select billing email. Once we have that information configured, the only other thing we would want to look at is if you wanted to put a certain message on your invoice style, so that way it appears at the bottom of the invoice for that account. You can update this box here, and then that invoice message would be affiliated to that particular account. And then we can determine if we wanted to show photos on this particular invoice, as well as displaying any partial payments that would be applied to an invoice. We can checkbox those boxes if we deem that's a necessary switch for our invoices here. Once I have this all configured, I would be able to hit save up at the top. It's going to attach those items specifically to our Arizona Trucking Association account. And then that way, Once a call is through the dispatch side of it and finished out and then moves through our billing pipeline, those invoices would be automatically sent out, and then that customer would also receive a statement for unpaid invoices that is emailed out on the 24th of every month. So hopefully this helps streamline your billing process, cuts down on some of the manual pieces that a lot of companies use, and will also help free up some time and make things a little bit more efficient for you guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out either to myself or our support team. And hopefully you enjoyed this Feature Friday video and it was very informative, and I wanted to thank you for your time.